Did you know that many retirees actually hesitate to spend their hard-earned savings? I call it the retirement spending conundrum. It's emotion, fear of running out of money, the fear of market volatility, the fear of tax implications and penalties. This business isn't just about numbers, it's about people. Optimal financial outcomes are achieved when IQ, the intelligence quotient, EQ, the emotional quotient, and BQ, the business quotient, all converge. Are the benefits of working with a financial advisor worth the associated fees? Well, welcome to Vaulted Views. I'm Lucia Jr. On this podcast, I challenge conventional thinking and explore strategies that help you be a smarter investor with the ultimate goal of giving you a better retirement outcome and long-term financial success. Today, I'll address a few critical issues that affect both investors and financial advisors. I'm going to talk about the tangible value of working with a financial advisor and why it's more than just investment management. I'll unveil the surprising truth about retirees' spending habits and why many are hesitant to utilize their savings, and how the bucket strategy addresses these challenges, offering financial security while enabling retirees to enjoy their wealth without the fear of losing their wealth. I'll also address advisor fees and show you how the benefits of professional guidance may far outweigh the costs. So whether you're a financial advisor looking for strategies to assist your clients in transitioning from accumulation to decumulation, or you're an investor aiming to make informed decisions about retirement withdrawals, this episode is right for you. All right, let's start by exploring what constitutes a sound financial decision. I believe optimal financial outcomes are achieved when IQ, the intelligence quotient, EQ, the emotional quotient, and BQ, the business quotient, all converge. Most people, when considering hiring a financial advisor, they do so for their IQ or their intelligence quotient, or said differently, their ability to analyze financial data and implement efficient investment strategies for them. But that's really only one part of the equation. IQ goes well beyond just investing. It also includes strategic financial, tax, and estate planning. So a Vanguard study revealed that a $500,000 portfolio under professional management could grow to $3.4 million over 25 years compared to just $1.69 million for a self-managed portfolio. That's a big gap. I believe this exemplifies the IQ of an advisor, which is maximizing returns, optimizing tax strategies, and constructing a robust financial plan. But what about EQ? Over 25 years, don't you think an investor would benefit from the help in managing emotions during extreme market fluctuations? Financial missteps often stem from emotional reactions rather than poor investments. Advisors serve as behavioral coaches, guiding clients to make rational, strategic decisions instead of impulsive, emotional-driven ones. And how about BQ, the business quotient, right? That's really about helping investors applying a business mindset to structuring their wealth. For business owners and high net worth individuals, wealth management is about more than just savings. It involves optimizing your cash flow, balancing reinvestment with liquidity, and structuring assets to ensure both growth and protection. A good financial advisor structures their advisory process to include EQ, IQ, and BQ elements when advising their clients. But more on that later. That leads me to the next question. Did you know that many retirees actually hesitate to spend their hard-earned savings? I call it the retirement spending conundrum. There's recent research that was done by David Blanchett and Michael Finke, which highlights a significant issue in retirement planning. What they found is that retirees would much rather spend money from their guaranteed income sources like Social Security and pensions rather than spending down their investments. Here are some of their key findings. Retirees only withdrew approximately 2.1% of their savings annually, which is well below the conventional 4% guideline for sustainable withdrawals. They only use about half of their available assets throughout retirement, and the median retiree spends considerably less than their available income, particularly early in their retirement years, when really they should be out enjoying life. So what's the underlying cause? It's emotion. It's the EQ problem. Fear of running out of money, uncertainty about their lifespan, how long they're going to live, and the future income needs that they may have. The fear of market volatility, that's due to a lack of a structured withdrawal plan, right? The fear of tax implications and penalties, they simply don't understand the distribution rules. This is where financial advisors really play a crucial role, bridging the gap between financial acumen, which is IQ, and the emotional well-being, which is EQ. One effective tool that my financial advisors employ to mitigate these concerns is the bucket strategy, which is a comprehensive approach to helping investors across all these areas. So let me tell you a quick story about Adam and Jen. This is a couple that I actually advised back in 2007. So Adam, he worked really hard. He diligently built his retirement portfolio, pretty substantially, by the way, but it was heavily weighted in equities. It was probably 75% or more in stocks. While him being aggressive over the previous years gave him some really impressive gains during the preceding bull market, it also posed significant risks as they approached retirement. So I helped them understand that, and I introduced them to the bucket strategy. And so in its most simplest form, the bucket strategy segments a client's portfolio into short, mid, and long-term buckets. The short-term liquidity bucket, what we like to do is allocate around 5 to 7 years worth of living expenses in safe, liquid assets to cover their immediate income needs. The point of that is so we spend from that liquidity bucket so we don't have to ever be forced to selling equities when they're down. We then set up a midterm bucket that's really for stability, right? We invest in lower risk assets aimed on generating steady returns with minimal volatility. The purpose of the midterm bucket is to reallocate the overall portfolio when the bucket one or the first liquidity bucket is spent down. So we take money from bucket two, we put it into bucket one, and the combination between bucket one and bucket two should last around 10 to 15 years. What that does is provide the third bucket or the long-term growth bucket with ample runway to withstand the volatility of the market so that they never feel like they've got to sell, especially in a year like 2008. So that brings me back to the story, right, with Adam and Jen. And so in 2008, we all remember what happened. It was the great financial recession. It was when the crisis struck. We saw nearly a 50% market downturn. It was crazy. And, Adam and Jen, though they were, invested, they felt secure because they had their safe money allocation set aside. They didn't need to sell any of the stuff that was down in order to meet their income needs. And they had a 5-year runway before we even really had to consider much of what was going on in the market. And so along comes 2009. If I recall correctly, it was February 2009, which was really the trough, the bottom of the market. And during that first review, and oh my gosh, I was pretty nervous because their overall portfolio, although it was really bad market, because we were broadly diversified, their portfolio was really only down around 15%. But 15% for a brand new client is never a pleasurable experience. So I was really worried about how Adam would react to all this. So here's what happened, though. What he said was, I could only describe it as like profound relief, right? He was telling me about his friends who lost half their retirement because they were aggressively invested like he was, and how they were considering that since they lost so much money in the market, that they had to think about working longer. And so because of this strategy, they felt like they were financially secure, and they really were. And what was really interesting about all this is they felt so secure that they were actually remodeling their home. They were putting in a whole new kitchen. It was really fascinating because that was not what was going on. If you remember back in the news and everything, people were fearful. They weren't spending money, and here they were spending money, remodeling their home. This is a great example of the integration of IQ, EQ, and BQ, crafting a financial structure, a bucket strategy, that safeguards against market volatility and, most importantly, alleviates emotional stress. But there's one thing that holds people up from hiring financial advisors. It's the cost. So this leads us to an important question. Are the benefits of working with a financial advisor worth the associated fees? Well, you know my bias by now, but the evidence really does suggest that advantages provided by advisors significantly surpass their fees. Working with a financial advisor isn't just about having someone to bounce ideas off of. It's about getting real value beyond the fees you pay. There's new research. It's from Smart Asset. It shows that clients who work with an advisor see annual return premiums of around 2.39% up to 2.78% over people who go it alone. Think about it. Over a lifetime, this advantage translates to 36 and even up to 212% more wealth to their bottom line, depending on factors like starting net worth and their age. While advisory fees are typically around 1% of assets under management, give or take, they only account for 23% to 35% of their total value an advisor helps generate, meaning the benefits far outweigh the costs. So where does this extra value come from? It's simple. A financial advisor plays both offense and defense, helping to grow your wealth while also protecting it from common mistakes like investor behavior. Far too often, people make emotionally driven mistakes that could cost them over time. An advisor also manages your taxes, navigates the complex financial markets, regulations, and all other things that can quietly eat away at your savings if left unchecked. Remember, it's not just about making money, it's also about keeping that money that you've worked so hard for. There is real value in doing that. The question now shifts from, can I afford a financial advisor, to can I afford to navigate my financial future without one? So, as I wrap up today's episode, I just want to take a moment to talk about why I love this industry so much. Whether you're an investor trying to build financial security or a financial advisor guiding clients towards their goals, this business isn't just about numbers, it's about people. At the core of what we do, it's about helping others solve problems that truly impact their lives. It's about making sure a retiree doesn't ever really have to worry about running out of money so they can live their life doing the things that they enjoy. It's about giving business owners confidence in a way that they can manage and grow their wealth. It's about helping financial advisors build a practice that gives them freedom and fulfillment. That's what makes this work so rewarding. And what I've found over the years is that the best financial outcomes don't happen by accident. They happen when we use a combination of EQ, IQ, and BQ to create real solutions. Thanks for tuning in to Vaulted Views, where I elevate your perspectives on money, business, and life. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with someone who could benefit from it. And if you want to level up your retirement, your business, or your advisory practice, let's connect. Until next time, stay elevated, stay strategic, and stay vaulted. I'll see you next episode.